Hold on. Getting a snap from Khonshu.
Huh?
Just got a snap from Khonshu.
A snap?
Snapchat, you know.
Yeah, well, I know what Snapchat is, but you have Khonshu on Snapchat?
Yeah, you don't?
No. What did he say?
Kill them!
He does that.
He likes that.
He does. Hello and welcome to the Nerd Card. I'm Phil.
I'm Chuck.
And today we're diving into episode 3 of Moon Knight.
We are. Moon Knight, number 3.
Moon Knight, or as Monty Python would say, Moon Knigget.
Sure.
Well, you've seen Monty Python, right?
Yeah, this bird has ceased to be.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Well, this episode was real different.
Yeah, it was different. It was fun. Had some harkens back to other series, we think. Yeah,
well, it certainly did. Actually, we see in the very opening scene what appears to be Layla's mother, caretaker.
You would think, or her dad's girlfriend,
or
something.
Some kind of familial relationship there.
Somebody cares about her.
Give her a piece of what appears to be Turkish Delight.
It does look that way. We looked it up. It does look that way.
We did. We were like, is that Turkish Delight? I don't know. What's it look like? We had to look it up.
Yeah, I remember it in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Baron Zemo was being smaller, but when he first gives that one to Sam.
Your Didi would be proud of you. Turkish Delight. Irresistible.
It looks a lot like what she got from that lady out of the jar.
It really does. And what Turkish Delight is just like a gel kind of candy. So it's very similar to what we see in there.
I suspect Kevin Feige just likes Turkish Delight.
It could
put into every Marvel for candy.
It could be. It's like, it's foreign. So, throw Turkish Delight in there and that'll be the foreign thing.
Turkish Delight.
But that was pretty cool. Just see a little.
It was fun.
A little throwback to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah. And as the episode moves along, what we're going to see is Marc Spector in control of the body.
Oh, shit.
You killed him? I needed to talk to that guy.
For a little bit. We see him lose control of the body in the same way that Stephen Grant did earlier in the series. Where it jumps.
Well, they implied it was Marc Spector, that maybe it wasn't the whole time. Maybe those times when we thought Marc Spector was taking control from Stephen Grant, because there was a point in this movie in this episode where Stephen or Mark, neither one knew who was in control.
Neither one knew who was in control. Yeah. And that's really cool because what we saw in the comics is we had Marc Spector, we had Stephen Grant, but there was a third entity as well that took over took over the body.
Steven, what did you do? I swear that wasn't me. Then who was it?
Yeah.
And then Khonshu being the fourth.
I think they're introducing that character now.
It sure feels that way. And he appears to be a little bit more ruthless than even Marc Spector is.
Yeah, he was pretty brutal.
He was.
Judging by the aftermath. Again, they employed the fighting scene of you don't really see anything. So we kind of just, have to go off of what we imagine. They did a really cool change between bodies with the technique they use in the filming, which I really like.
It is cool.
The glitching, phasing, however you want to call it, and how they do it. Technical terms are failing me now. I apologize. But yeah, so we're not sure who this person is yet. But at one point, like we said, Stephen and Mark both don't know who it was that saved their bacon.
Right. And it's a really cool, as you were talking about, I think that's a really cool way to tell the story, especially from the perspective of someone with this dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
You really wouldn't know And, you have this guy. So as Marc Spector, you have this guy, Stephen Grant, that takes over the body from time to time. So you communicate with him and all that. But a third person showing up is...
A third manifest that you guys don't know. The other two don't know about.
It's jarring.
I can imagine it would be.
Yeah, and they portray that really well in film.
I think so too. I agree.
It's really cool. What we also see is Khonshu kind of... misstepping, let's say.
Praise Ammit. Okay.
I thought he'd talk.
All right, so what? You have any good ideas?
I have a bad one.
Oh, yeah, he pooped the bed. Big time.
See, I was going to say it nicer than that, but yeah. He pooped the bed.
I would use a different word if we weren't recording this for the video, but yeah. He totally pooped the bed. Pooped the bed, yes.
He really did.
He fornicated with the dog.
Yes. Khonshu does not have people skills. No. We see that a lot in the, the Conference of the Gods. If he would just say what he needed to say, there wouldn't be the big issue that they have.
Right.
But he's just spouting off at the mouth. He's
self-righteous.
Very self-righteous. Yes, absolutely. And I do want to note as well that Oscar Isaac is just so good in this role.
Oh, yeah.
The guy plays, at this point, 3 separate characters, and I'm sure we're going to see him play a 4th at this point now, and does so in such a way that you know exactly who is speaking every time he opens his mouth.
Oh, he's been fantastic.
But manipulate the sky again, and we will imprison you in stone.
Spare me your self-righteous threats! I was banished for not abandoning humanity unlike the rest of you.
And his range is being really shown off in this series, in this episode in particular.
Absolutely.
He even kind of does Poe Dameron for a couple seconds.
He does. Who talks first? You talk first? Or I talk first?
Yeah, exactly.
Guess I'm gonna have to talk to you instead.
You're too late. You're never gonna find Harrow.
Really? Oh, wow. Oh. What are we dancing? We fighting? What are we gonna do?
But it is, again, it's really good to see. And if just Khonshu could just say, hey man, maybe he's got a tat here. Why don't you guys, hey, pull up your arm.
That's it. That's all you gotta say.
He's got a tat here. Oh, where's your cane, bro?
Like, check out his shoulders. Show him the cane.
Didn't come in with his cane. Where's your cane?
He's got a cane. He's got the scarab, Ammit by the way.
Yeah. But he doesn't bring up any of that. He just gets all mad at the guy. He's just still mad at the gods.
Yep.
And is yelling about Harrow, and they don't even listen. They're just like, yeah, whatever, bro. Go away.
Our meeting must be nefarious.
You know exactly why we are here!
I must admit I do not miss the sound of that voice. But speak, old master, to the point.
Do you not seek to release Ammit from her tomb?
I was in the desert, but if visiting the sands were a crime, the line of sinners would be longer than the Nile. Khonshu has searched for Ammit's tomb since he ensnared me to his service. His vision is obscured by jealousy, paranoia, and
he's a deceiver!
Well, and Ethan Hawke's character, Arthur Harrow, sees that and plays it up and eggs him on so that he gets even more frustrated.
He was going to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, Arthur Harrow is not a dummy.
And he was Khonshu's avatar. So he knows how he's going to react.
He knows the buttons to push, absolutely, and does a really good job of pushing the buttons.
As you can say, he gets his goat because he knows where it's tied.
Yeah.
And it's just that's
a nice saying you got right there.
Yeah. So it's boom. He just does it, and he advances. But unfortunately to me, part of that though too felt like weak storytelling. It was kind of weak writing in that scene because it's so obvious all he would have to do. And if you think this guy is a former or on the same level as these gods, why would he not be able to ably communicate that to them?
You would have to. I mean, you're the moon god, Khonshu. Communicate, man.
And you can't just say that to the people who you've been in cohort with for thousands of years.
Maybe millions.
Yeah, come on, man.
I mean, yeah.
So that drove me nuts a little bit.
It's a little bit of lazy storytelling for sure, but it also kind of serves that Khonshu thing where Khonshu is he's the egomaniac. You know, he just, believe me because I said it. And,
right. You know, for sure. It does accomplish that, but I think they could have done it better.
Sure. Yeah, could have been. But let's move on from that because there's a couple other things we want to get to with the episode. The biggest one for me was the mention of Madripoor.
Oh, yeah.
Zach.
Layla.
It's been a while.
Good to see you. Right this way.
Thank you.
He's looking forward to seeing you. After Madripoor, I'm sure you two will have a lot to talk about.
And Madripoor, of course, is a huge city in the comics. It's where we meet Wolverine or where Wolverine finds Jubilee.
Yeah, it's not where we meet him, but
no,
it's where,
not, yeah. It's where he's hiding out.
At one point in the comics where the X-Men are essentially in exile, Wolverine kind of lives in Madripoor for a while.
Yep.
And he finds Jubilee there. Their first appearance is in that Wolverine comic book series where he's hanging out in Madripoor, has a couple adventures with the Grey Hulk, who they kind of put in the Marvel Universe as not the Grey Hulk, as the Smart Hulk.
Smart Hulk, yeah.
Same kind of thing as the Grey Hulk in the comic. But Madripoor, in the history of Marvel Comics, is a huge city. I'm just, please give us Wolverine out of Madripoor or something. Because now you've mentioned it twice. Marvel.
Yeah.
And twice in the shows.
Do we want to live in a world full of people like the Red Skull? That is why we're going to Madripoor.
What's up with Madripoor? You guys talk about it like it's Skull Island.
It's an island nation in the Indonesian archipelago. It's a pirate sanctuary back in the 1800s.
It's kept its lawless ways.
Also in Shang-Chi, they mention Madripoor. So,
well, and you know
what's going to happen in Madripoor? Something's got to happen. They're talking about it too much.
You said it while we were talking about it. I think Madripoor would be a great place to introduce a mutant, especially Wolverine.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. They're not going to do it on the small screen. They're not going to do it on Disney Plus. It's going to be on the big screen.
100%.
Where we see Wolverine for the first time, or any mutant for that case.
Yeah, any X-Men character.
Yeah. For sure. But that was a really cool point where they're talking to Anton or walking up to Anton and saying, you know, you haven't really been the same since Madripoor. And, you know, it's just a really neat thing. And that whole scene as well is a really cool scene where they're talking to Anton, the actor who unfortunately passed away in January and will not be returning to the MCU for obvious reasons. It did a really nice job as, you know, an intermediary, very similar to Sharon Carter, the power broker in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I would have liked to see more of him. Of course, that's, as I said, not going to happen, but that whole scene is really cool. It deals with the struggle, you know, Marc Spector's having of, you know, you need Stephen Grant in this instance.
All right, Stephen, you want to talk to me? Talk to me. What now? What now? What now is you give me the body and you piss off. Damn it, there's not time for this. If there's something that you know, you got to tell me.
It's his expertise.
It also makes it clear, though, that Stephen Grant needs Marc Spector.
Yeah,
because
it really
he gets impaled, and it's like, you take the body, you take the body.
Well, and I thought that was that was the coolest part of the scene is, you know, Marc Spector shows up as Moon Knight and he's about to, you know, whoop wholesale ass. And then halfway through the fight, Stephen goes, no, give me the body, give me the body. And we see Mr. Knight again. And as soon as he gets impaled, he's like, nope, never mind.
Yep.
It's just a really cool scene.
It was pretty good.
Give me the body, Mark. Sorry.
You all right?
That's it. All right, time out. That's it, time out. Guys, let's all calm down, yeah? We're all worked up. Let's all just, like, chill the F out and talk for a second. Take the body. Take the body, Mark.
I liked it a lot. Well, either way, I really enjoyed this episode. I'm really enjoying this series.
And then there's one more thing we're going to talk about, of course, because
hit it.
Well, you know, at the end, you see Khonshu gets put into timeout.
Oh, yes, of course.
By the other gods. And, you know, he says, tell Mark to free me.
How?
He's not going to be able to be Moon Knight, supposedly.
Yeah, it's a good point. We see that, well, actually, it's Mr. Knight at the time. It's Stephen Grant in the suit when Khonshu is taken away.
Although Marc Spector is like a special forces badass, so I suppose he probably can free him.
That he is.
But it'll be interesting to see what happens now. Looks like we're not going to have the titular character for an episode.
Yeah.
It would appear that way.
It could very well be. Or maybe, this third personality that we haven't seen yet, it has some way of tapping into that.
Maybe.
We don't know. But either way, I can't wait to see it next week.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying this series, and it's taken the MCU to this new mystical kind of level, which is...
Well, you kind of doubled down on Shang-Chi.
They really did. Yeah. And it's a great thing. I'm enjoying every bit of it.
The timing now with Doctor Strange coming out here very soon. Of course, that's why this show came out now.
Of course. Absolutely. Yeah. It's going to tie in really well. Anything else, Chuck?
No, that's it.
Then that's all I got too. I would like to remind you to check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, Spotify, all that good stuff. We are out there. Share us with all your nerd friends so they can join in the party as well. And with that, we will say, what's on your nerd card?